Hi, Novak. I'm from Renaissance Youth Foundation in London, and we're trying to inspire young people about Roland Garros and to be getting into tennis. You inspire a lot of young people because you've overcome a lot of challenges and you've achieved so much. What does it mean for you growing up playing? What did it mean for you growing up about Roland Garros, and what does it mean for you now? You've achieved so much to be here.
Well, I didn't have any tennis tradition in my family, so I had to really strongly fall in love with the sport, and that's what happened when I was 4 or 5 years old, back in Serbia, and difficult times of war and economical crisis, and tennis was not really one of the popular sports. So I obviously watched a lot of tennis on the TV and tried to play with tennis camps and different tennis clubs and programs. But the vision, so to say, the big vision and the dream was always there, and I think that's what kept me going. I think playing in Grand Slams and Roland Garros being one of them. I grew up on clay, so obviously that was always one of the tournaments that I wanted to play on and win, and I admired and I watched all the greats at that time, and I idolized a lot of players, especially Pete Sampras, and one day imagined myself that I can actually be there. So when that became a reality, obviously the feeling of accomplishment and fulfillment is quite special, and I think it's very important for a young tennis player who has aspirations to play the biggest tournaments in sport is never to give up on that dream, and whatever the dream is, always stay close to it, nurture it, because dreams are your own reality, and dreams are something that is serving as a guiding star.
Can you talk about your relationship with Rafa, and how much of a blow was that Italian Open defeat to your confidence and your form coming into Roland Garros?
In which way relationship?
In terms of your relationships on clay and the fact that he is the king of this tournament and
Okay.
you're the world number one.
Of course, I mean I said it in Italy that he is the main favorite to win the title, and I think it wouldn't be fair to pick anybody else but him as the main favorite, because he has won this tournament so many times. He has lost 2 times in his career on the Parisian clay, so lots of respect for him, obviously, as always. We had a good match in Rome. He was a better player, he was just too strong. I felt like I had a fantastic couple of weeks in Madrid and Rome, and I probably ran out of gas a little bit in the finals with a couple of long matches and late night finishes in quarterfinals and semifinals. But overall, very positive weeks, and it's a great lead up to what's coming up here. This is the tournament that I was preparing for, so to say. For the last couple of months I wanted to peak in this tournament, and this is where I want to play my best tennis. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but for me there's an extra motivation and incentive to win the Roland Garros because of the opportunity to hold all 4 slams, something I've done 3 years ago in my career, and that gives me obviously enough reason to believe I can do it again. I loved playing in the Roland Garros always throughout my career, and especially in the last 4 or 5 years I received a lot of support from French crowd and also international crowd that comes here, and I think because of that support I also managed to win this title in 2016. And 12 months ago the situation was quite different, obviously recovering from an elbow surgery, dropping out of top 20, and everything that I had to face on the court only 12 months ago. 12 months later, I hold 3 slams and being number 1 of the world, obviously it's quite a different feeling, approaching the tournament with more confidence, and hopefully I can have a good 2 weeks.
Novak, what do you make of Lajovic's run on clay of late, but also kind of how he's been able to play his best tennis later on in his career?
fantastic. I mean, I think he hasn't surprised me with the level of tennis on clay, because I knew that he has the ability to play at a really high level, but to do it day after day on such a big tournament and to win against players like Dominic Thiem is phenomenal. And you know, I congratulate him for the great success, and I wish him to have a great Roland Garros. I think it's great for Serbian tennis. It's important that other players from Serbia also are doing really well on big tournaments. That inspires obviously many more younger tennis players to dream big.
Hi, Novak. Here. I work for L'Equipe and I make a portrait of Dustin Brown. You played him once. Can you tell me what you think about him and his game?
Very unorthodox in every way, but I think he's a very important player for tennis. I think it's phenomenal to have a guy and a character like him who enjoys, you know, every single moment and who is so unpredictable on the court. He actually has a lot of talent, and I think his quality of tennis is maybe underrated because of everything that he does, and you know, the way he jokes around and everything, and the way he looks, and you know, stuff like this. But I think he actually possesses a lot of strengths in his game, especially on grass. I mean, he showed that he won against I think Rafa in Wimbledon. So you know, he's got the game. But at the same time, what makes him special is exactly who he is, and I think actually he brings a lot of new fans, I think different fans to tennis as well.
You just say you prepare much better now the Grand Slam tournament. What do you do differently in your preparation? Did you put much pressure on you? Did you work differently?
Nothing really in particular. Days before Roland Garros, I don't do anything that is completely different from anything that I do in the different periods of the year. I do set up a strategy with my team to peak at the Grand Slams, because at this stage of my career, those are the ones that matter the most for me, and those are the tournaments where I want to play my best. And so we try to obviously set up a training schedule that would allow me to reach, so to say, the top of my potential, physically, emotionally, mentally, for the Grand Slam. That doesn't mean that I take away the importance from other 1,000 events or other events that I take part on. They are very important for my confidence building, and of course I really want to win on every tournament that I participate, but of course Grand Slams just have a special place.
Thank you very much. We'll carry on in national language.
Thank you.